Good evening, and welcome to the Burlington Community School District Candidate Forum conducted by the Greater Burlington Partnerships Government Relations Committee. My name is Brandon North, and I will be your moderator this evening. Our timekeeper is Todd Shelf. In the interest of time and fairness to the other candidates, I am going to ask each candidate to observe Todd's signal and stop your response when time is up. Tonight's forum will consist of a set of predetermined questions, and each candidate will have up to 90 seconds to respond. A decision was made by the Government Relations Committee to have candidates answer the questions impromptu. In other words, they have not seen the questions in advance. Questions from the audience or online will not be accepted. Candidates are seated in alphabetical order. To my right, I have Olivia Baker, Dr. Reverend Floyd Blair, Nikki Cox, Darvin Kendall, Marlis Roberts, and Luke Sneller. We will start by having you introduce yourself and share why you are running for a seat on the school board. Olivia?
All right, good evening, and thanks so much for being here or tuning in online. I'm Olivia Baker. I was born and raised in Southeast Iowa. My husband and I both graduated from Mediapolis High School and then went off to college at the University of Iowa, thinking that we would probably land somewhere far away from here. And very quickly after graduating, we decided that our hearts really are in Southeast Iowa. We moved back to Mediapolis several years ago. We moved to Burlington, and we just love living life here. We've got 4 kids, Will, George, James, and Louise, who are at home watching. They are in 6th, 4th, 2nd grade, and kindergarten. I have a degree in secondary social studies education and history. I have a master's degree in social science from the University of Northern Iowa. Teaching is really my passion. Since I became an adult, I wanted to work in the field of education. So I started off teaching at Cedar Rapids High School and have since substitute taught in the area, and am currently homeschooling my 4 kids who are also enrolled part-time in the district through our homeschool assistance program and are dual enrolled. And I would just love to be a part of making education as accessible and effective as possible for as many students as possible. That is the only reason why I am here.
Reverend Blair, how you doing? I moved to a small town called Burlington. When I first came here, I didn't even know Burlington was on the map. I'm gonna be honest, But since I've been here almost over 2 years, I'm a member of the Kiwanis Club. I'm a chaplain in Burlington, the police department. I pastor a church here. And I actually like the people here in Burlington. I think it's a great partnership to be able to care for children when you don't even have children in school. So I think anything a private person can do to assist the system to be better than what it is. When I looked this morning, I didn't see any Burlington schools on the top 10 list of schools in the state. That depressed me. So my goal here really is to see how far can we go? Can we make all the schools here in Burlington better? It's in our best interest. Blair.
Thanks, Lloyd. Nikki?
My name is Nikki Cox. My husband and I have been married for 19 years, and together we have 5 children. They range from age 16 down to 4. So because this season of my life is 90% pouring into the kids, that's what my focus is on. I want to run for school board because I care about the community, I care about the children. Ultimately, I want to help assist them to come into they're going to be the next generation of the leaders in Burlington. This is our community, and so we have to care about them. We have to care about their health, their behavior, their respect level, and their academics. And all of those things are things that make me passionate to run for school board.
Thank you, Nikki. Darvin?
Good evening. I'm Darvin Kendall. I'm a lifelong resident of Burlington. I graduated Burlington High School. I have 2 children that graduated from Burlington High School as well. I've had the pleasure of serving on the Burlington School Board Board of Directors for many years. And during that time, several years, I have held positions of board president and board vice president. I've experienced many challenging issues in my time on the board, and I've worked with other board members and the administration to help guide our district through the COVID pandemic, reductions in state and federal funding, and the ongoing population decline due to the status of Burlington. I deeply want to help our community. I have and continue to listen to all voices, and I embrace opportunities to engage with students, families, and staff. No matter the outcome of this election next Tuesday, I hope that everyone will consider committing to the district and coming to board meetings, joining a booster club, joining their local PTO committee, getting involved in some way or another.
Thank you, Darvin. Marlis?
Hi, my name is Marlis Roberts. I grew up in Clarinda, Iowa, and went to University of Northern Iowa, where I got my bachelor's in political science with minors in economics and psychology, and then went to University of Iowa College of Law and got my Juris Doctorate in 1997. I moved to Burlington in 1997 and have been a resident here ever since. I worked at a law firm for 7 years, and in 2004, I opened my own little office, and that is now Roberts and Kirkman, LLLP. I have served on Burlington School District, or the Board of Education for Burlington School District from 2011 until 2019. I was board president for 5 years during that time. But probably the greatest reason and why I am running is because I have seen what Burlington School District can do. Burlington School District can take a child with special needs and make them into a very productive adult throughout multiple years and great teachers. And I want to help that process continue. I want all our kids to have the great education that Burlington School District offers.
Thank you, Marlis. Luke?
My name is Luke Sneller. Came here from Sioux Center, Iowa, the opposite corner of the state. Been here with the fire department for the last 18 years. And my wife and I have 2 children, one at Sunnyside and one at Aldo. And simply just decided to run to have a positive common sense voice on the school board and another way to help give back and contribute.
Thank you, Luke. We'll move on to the question portion of the night. Olivia, we'll start with you.
Okay.
How have you been involved or interacted with the district, and how does that inform your priorities as a board member?
Yeah. So when my family and I moved to Burlington several years ago, our littlest guy was just getting ready to start preschool. So we enrolled him in the preschool through at Burlington and had a great experience. So that was our first experience with Burlington schools. I was seriously thinking about homeschooling him because I was a teacher and a stay-at-home mom, and I love teaching. So there is no more precious job for me than to be able to do what I love best with the people that I love best. That's the reason why I'm homeschooling. But I also am a public school teacher by heart. So I want to be very much involved in our school district. So our kids from the very beginning were enrolled in the homeschool assistance program through Burlington, and they've been able to take a variety of classes. They've got teachers who are employed by the district who teach them art and book clubs and all sorts of different things. And we're able to dual enroll through Aldo. And I've got a little guy dual enrolled at Sunnyside as well. So as our kids get older, we absolutely anticipate them becoming increasingly involved in the school district. And I just love that I get to be a part of that, the home education that we're doing, but also the public education that they're experiencing in our school district and will increasingly so as they get older. In addition to that, we love Burlington. My husband is a pastor in town. We know a lot of people and we love this community. So I'm interacting with teachers, with administrators, with parents, with students in the district literally every day. I want what is best for them. And so that's, while I'm running for my own children's sake, I'm also running for the sake of other members in this community who are our neighbors and friends.
Floyd?
Well, no direct involvement with the district except the community itself. You know, I'm a pastor of a local church here in Burlington, so an interaction with students and administrators and teachers, and they kept saying some very interesting things about the school district, that it needed improvement, difficulty with special ed programs, not hearing the voice of parents, students telling me the school system doesn't listen to them. And you hear all that stuff and you go, well, can you make a difference in at least folk listening to one another and moving forward on improvements for the community? Because as the schools go, so do our community, so do our neighborhood. So I said to myself, when somebody asked me to run, I said, why not? I mean, I'm a voice of reason, I have common sense, I got a lot of degrees, I want to go through the list, I interact with people well, and I said to myself, why not? We need voices of reason on the board to be able to listen to all voices and implement positive change. And once again, I looked in the newspaper this morning, it just came across. I didn't see Burlington schools on the list of the top 10 schools in this state. That bothered me. And I hope it bothers everyone here and listening. We need to make them all top 10 in the state. Simple.
Thank you, Floyd. Nikki?
Okay, over the last 8 years, I've had children at Sunnyside, Aldo, Edstone, and BHS. We've been involved with the orchestra, with the band. I have done chaperoning field trips, being involved with band activities like fundraisers, that kind of thing, and also utilizing that homeschool assistance program. I have homeschooled all of my children at one time or another, and I have 3 that are in public school right now. The younger 2 are home with me, but they are, I say they, but my youngest one is 4. She's not in school yet, but we are involved with the homeschool assistance program, and so we utilize all the resources that they offer there as well.
Darvin?
Well, as a board member, this is an interesting question. As a board member, I'm very involved with what's going on in the district, learning and seeing and watching and seeing what, helping develop the programs and working with our administration. As a parent, it was really interesting to be involved. Activities with PTO, booster clubs, and even as a board member today, I still like to attend the booster meetings. I get into the buildings and talk with the staff and meet with the students and volunteer. So it's really important to do that so we have the vision of what's actually going on and not just sitting at a board meeting and listening to things. It's important to actually be in the buildings, be at events, be at concerts, be at sporting events, so we can listen and hear and talk with what's going on to the people that are there that are ground zero. They can tell us what's going on. So I try very hard to do that. If we're working full time, it's a challenge sometimes, but I try very hard to do it.
Thank you. Marlis?
Thank you. I was involved with the district. My son attended 2 years of preschool with Burlington. He attended kindergarten, first grade through 12th grade, and then had the blessings of the STEP program to attend SCC through Burlington Community School District. I've sat in countless IEP meetings. I have worked book fairs. I have helped with band things, choir things, drama, and various booster activities. I wasn't a booster member, but I did help out with some of those. But as a board member before, I made a point of being in each school multiple times during the year. I made a point of talking with teachers. A lot of people have my phone number, and many people called my office. I'm unaware of any parent who ever called me that I didn't take the time to reach out to and talk with them about their concern. It's the same with teachers. I think the priority as a board member is first and foremost to listen to those teachers, be in the classroom, some to see their front line, what they are working with every day, and then address some problems, address concerns that come up in the appropriate channels through the appropriate means. I also think it's important for the board to focus on a long-term future for Burlington School District. So I think Burlington School District has a lot of great staff and excellent students, and we need to move them in the right direction.
Thank you, Marlis. Luke?
Can you repeat the question?
Certainly. How have you been involved or interacted with the district, and how does that inform your priorities as a board member?
So my involvement has been fairly minor, similar to what Marlis said. My kids have come up, and so I've been involved with all the teachers at Sunnyside, first name basis there. I will say my favorite elementary building. But minor, very minor there, helping out with the classes. It seemed like it was pre-COVID more when they had classroom stuff and they invited parents in to help with that. So there was that stuff, but also just communicating with numerous teachers throughout the district, seeing how things are going, listening to their voices, and just hearing their thoughts, their ideas. I'll be honest, I'm very green don't know what I'm doing, but we got to sit down and listen to the people and find out and get educated myself. So that's it.
Thanks, Luke. Floyd, for this next one, we'll start with you. An individual school board member has no authority. Only the board as a whole can make decisions for the district. What skills or traits will allow you to contribute to effective operations of the board as a whole?
I guess I'm good at consensus. I've done a lot of different things in my professional career. I've practiced law. I've run numerous nonprofit agencies. I've led several state agencies. I've worked at the federal level, been appointed several times. I get along with people, and I pastor a church. So basically, I'm a people kind of guy for most time. So I think that being able to listen to all the voices on the board and be able to listen to them and let's get together and make a positive decision that has an impact on the children as well as the system. You know, I still believe in, leave no child behind. I do, and so even kids with special ed. And my wife and I, we had 5 children in public school, 2 with special ed. And so battling, what somebody say, the special ed issues, oh my God, that was horrible. And so I think that, when folks come to the board and as a consensus, we need to figure out how to make things work, period. Not for ourselves, but for I call them, better to call them, if each kid was a client of mine, how would I advocate for them? So I think as a board member, I would advocate to build a consensus so we could ensure that we get the most out of our system for our children.
Thank you, Floyd. Nikki?
Okay. One of the things that I have been saying all along is it's a very high priority that we have unity. So I think that I bring the skill and trait of that being at the forefront of my mind. I want to work together. We have lots of different, we have diverse backgrounds. We have all different kinds of beliefs, religions, races, all things to come together. And so to be able to collaborate and represent the voices of everybody means compromising, listening, and making decisions that are best for everybody as a whole. I think that I do have the ability to do that. I think that I am versatile. I look outside for resources. I'm not always an inside the box kind of person. As you can see, I do all kinds of things with my kids using all kinds of resources, and I would do the same for our school district kids to solve problems and work together.
Darby?
I think one of the things that has enhanced my experience as serving as a board member is the collaboration that I've had with other board members. Your question has a very important point in it, and that is that one single board member cannot affect change. They have no authority. They have no way to dictate anything, really. The board has one employee, and that is the superintendent. The board does not employ the principal. The board does not employ a coach. They don't have authority over any of those individuals. And it's important for the board to work together to affect change. If you don't work together, if you're fighting amongst each other, you're not going to affect any kind of change. And we've developed some great programs in my time on the board that have positively impacted thousands of students. Things like the before and after school child program, the Vibe online program, are just a few examples of things that the board has able to come together and said, yeah, this is what we want to do. We give the superintendent kind of the directions. We develop our goals as a board, and we support that together. We can individually disagree, but collectively we have to agree and come to a consensus, and I think we've been able to do that.
Marlis?
I think the most important skill that a board member can have is listening, because you're listening to parents, you're listening to teachers, and you're listening to other board members. So that is the best skill that a board member needs. And yes, as you stated and as Darvin repeated, one board member does not have any individual power. But knowing how to direct questions to get answers, knowing how to direct people to go through the appropriate channels, because we as board members are not micromanaging your child's education. We're giving general parameters for it so that we can help your child get the best education. But we have diverse backgrounds. So knowing, working hand in hand with the superintendent, moving forward with the goals of the board that the board decides on is very important. I also walk into this having years of experience as Darvin does, so I understand some of the things. With budgetary issues that usually come forward, I understand there are certain funds for certain things. I understand that while I'd love to pay teachers a lot more and they deserve a lot more, their pay is out of the general fund, so we need to be creative with solutions there. To the extent that we can. And Burlington has a great finance director, Greg Reynolds, who usually comes up with good creative solutions. So just the board has to work together as a team, and I think listening is key to all that.
Thank you, Marlis. Luke?
I think you're here for the wrong reasons if you think you're going to come in here and make all these changes on your own. It's a team, it's a board for a reason, and you do have to sit and listen. And my daily job with the fire department, we solve complex issues, we solve very easy issues sometimes, but it takes all of us. It's not just one person doing it, and it is sometimes sitting and listening and processing everything and then going through with the decision that's the best for the most. You're not going to please everyone. That's impossible, but you can try and please the most. So,
Olivia?
Yeah, when you asked the question, the first three words that came to my mind is that I am a learner and a listener and a leader. So one of the reasons I'm here is that my hobby is to read educational philosophy and educational psychology books. It's what I went to school for. It's what I love. It's what I'm doing daily with my kids. And so I get excited and I have all of these ideas and I want to do something with them. And so I'm a learner by nature. I know that serving on the school board for the first time, I would have a lot to learn in terms of how the board functions and the dynamics of the board. But I do feel like I would be drawing from a deep well as far as education goes. But you can't just learn theory and you can't just learn philosophy. You also have to learn your community. You have to know the families, the people that you're going to serve. And so just like all of these other board members are saying, that's the number one quality I think a board member has to have, someone who cares and is asking good questions, asking hard questions, asking deep questions, and willing to listen. And as I've started to do that, as I've considered running for school board, you start learning a lot. So those two things go hand in hand, the listening and the learning. And I think I'm also a leader and I'm looking for an opportunity to lead in our community. So one of my, something I value very strongly is an open-mindedness to new ideas. So I'm a principled person, but one of my principles is that one would be open-handed and want to learn more. And so that's something that I would want to do, hold my ideas very open-handedly and work with others. And then once I become convinced that something is right, to work with other members of the board to make sure that we take these ideas and we can find a way to, together as a team, put them into action to serve our students better.
Thank you, Olivia. Nikki, we'll start with you on this next question. What do you believe is the first or top priority of public education?
Okay. I have a twofold answer here for priorities. I think we have to create an environment to boost self-esteem, character, and respect, because if that's not in place, no academic learning can happen. So I think ultimately every parent would say at the end of their life, if they look back and their child has character, that they raised a successful person. I think if they would look back and say, I raised somebody who's very smart, but they maybe they don't have a moral compass or they're out there doing things that the family would be ashamed of, they wouldn't necessarily gauge it as a successful parenting. And so first and foremost, I'm saying the respect and the character, and that just leads into the next one, which is the academics. I'm I know he's mentioned that some of our scores came in a little bit underperforming, and that is a concern. I know that the district is already working. They have some things in place. I've been meeting with some people and learning, and so they're already aware of it. It's not a problem that isn't being worked on, and so I would love to come alongside with my ideas and my also my passion being in unity with theirs to handle these issues so their academics can be boosted as well.
Thank you, Nikki. Darvin?
Could you repeat that for me, please?
Certainly. What do you believe is the first or top priority of public education?
Well, it's a kind of an easy answer in a way because it's the students. We have a belief that it's students first, staff and family always. And that's kind of what it's all about. Our students are the reason that we have a school. The reason we have what we have are because of our students. And we have so many things that are happening to take care of those students. There's so many programs. There's leaders in the schools. We have 3 students who serve on our school board as student advisors from the high school. Every year we have a report from all of the schools come to our board meetings, and the students from those schools present the information about what's going on in their buildings, the student leaders. So there are many, many things that we're doing to engage our students, and with the staff and the families. Again, we're talking with the staff, we're listening to the staff, we're responding, we're getting into the building. I get in and listen to what's going on. And the families, you can talk with them. Every building has a family night. It's really cool to attend those and see what's going on. Just going to concerts even and listening to what people are having to say. So the students are the very focus of what we're doing.
Marcus?
Thank you. To me, the top priority of public education is to educate each student how they come to us, where they are, to become a successful adult. And that means providing them with a safe environment, whether it's safe from bullying or physically safe. And we have a lot of things in our schools to address the current climate out there. It also means to have great teachers and to retain great teachers, because we have some of the most dedicated teachers that you could imagine in our district. And I'm very proud of that. They worked long, hard hours, and they work a lot of hours beyond what is required just because they know that kid needs extra. We need to get families involved to help those students become successful adults, because if the family is not involved, they can't work hand in hand with the school. Public education is not the sole source of educating your child. It is to work together to move forward. So making each student where they are, regardless of their ability, a successful adult is our top priority.
Luke?
I'm going to sound like I'm copying these last two, but educating our students safely is the top priority. And that involves from the board coming together and providing the staff the things that they need to do that. The buildings, safety-wise, for our students, and lost my thought there. But yeah, educating the students safely is the top priority.
Excellent. Olivia?
When I think of priorities for public education, I think it's twofold. We want to help develop students to have both competence and character as adults living in this difficult world. I think we all realize that times are changing, constantly. I don't care what generation you grow up in, right? There are always new problems to have to figure out. And so we need kids who are not only capable of doing that, but they care enough to do it, who care enough about other people that they want to apply themselves and give of themselves and make the sacrifices that are required to be productive citizens, good moms and dads, teachers, doctors, lawyers, workers, employers of any kind. We want kids who can do those things and want to do those things really well. So that I think that the primary aim of public education is to give our kids the competencies that they need to do that. And that requires a really solid foundation in math, science, reading, all forms of language arts, social studies, the humanities, art, music, all of those things that we teach our kids in school. We want to be doing that so that they can become as competent as they possibly can in each of those areas and develop their own unique strengths, because I believe that they all have a unique mark to leave on this world, and we want to do it in such a way that they desire to graduate from Burlington High School. I want to see nearly 100% of our students graduating from Burlington High School. I think that would be a really worthy goal for our district to aim for over the next 4 years, and to go out into the world and to live with competence and character.
Well, we all know the answer. The short answer is students, right? We all know that already. But I think beyond that is how do you get a student to become productive once they leave the academic setting, right? And contribute to the world, whether it's Burlington or the nation or the country. I'm gonna use myself as an example. I was raised in public school. I'm a product of public school. I'm also a kid who was raised in foster care in New York City, Brooklyn. So I was a mess. Public education allowed me to get to here. I have a law degree, I'm working on a PhD, I got a massive science, I got all sorts. I'm an ex-Navy submariner, electronics and nuclear weapons. Public school allowed me to see a different world than the world that I was in. And I think that's part of public school. Allowing children to be themselves, growing them, making them productive, but also send them out into the world whereby which we are proud of the fact that we came from public school. And I think that's a whole nother level, but I think it's necessary in today's climate. We need productive citizens in our country to go out in the world and show that public school works.
Thank you, Floyd. Darvin, we'll start with you on this next one. What do you see as the district's areas for growth, and what strategies would you propose to achieve this growth?
It's been mentioned, and I think it's known, we need to increase graduation rates. We need to increase student achievements. And those are things that, we can just say we need to get this done. Figuring out how to get that done is a very complex issue. And I think as far as our challenges, and was that the question?
What do you see as the district's areas for growth?
Yes. So I think, as we evolve and learn different ways to help students do better, we spend a tremendous amount of money helping our staff learn what they can do to help the students. And we have so many intervention programs that help those students. And I think it's important to just keep working on those, engaging families, engaging the parents, to stimulate the students so that they want to do better. I think all students want to do better. They just get a little bit bogged down in trying to figure out how to do it. And we have some incredible staff who work really hard to do that. And I think it's really important for us to keep that focus, because student achievement, test scores, graduation rates are all very important to our community and to our students.
Rose?
Thank you. I agree that graduation rates and student test scores are a lot of what a district is measured by, so I certainly want those improved. I also think there's a lot that measures educating a student that is not included in graduation rates and test scores. The teachers that help a student and are the rock for that kid that day, when they're having a really bad day. And I think part of what our image should be is not only the test scores and the graduation rates, but the fact that we have very caring and wonderful staff in our buildings that spend so many hours. Reverend Blair mentioned the public perception of Burlington School District. That is a huge area for growth for us. I have served in various community volunteer organizations, chamber things. There are numerous things where Burlington School District is not painted as it truly is, as a great district that helps our kids and makes them great adults. So I think in addition to focusing on in the classroom, we need to focus on the true success stories of our kids, because we have some great kids from our district who've done a ton of great things. And we have a lot of great teachers who've spent time in there. So I think public perception, and that includes some discipline
Thank
and
you, Marlis.
all of those. Thank you.
Luke?
I think our biggest area for growth is the stigma that Burlington is a bad school, and everyone wants to send their kids somewhere else, to the private schools or to one of the other schools outside of here. And we just need to reverse that stigma. There is so many great things in our school district. I don't have to worry about my daughter in second grade asking why a guy's in a wheelchair. Her best friend's in a wheelchair at school, and you don't get that at a lot of the other places. And so I think that there's so many positive things. You go to the high school, you look at the culinary arts program. I mean, that kitchen out there is unbelievable. You look at the IT program, unbelievable IT program, or an IA program, industrial arts program that we have out there. So we just need to get those positive things out there, and I think we need to make Burlington the premier school district in Southeast Iowa that people want to come here. People are open enrolling to come to Burlington because of all those great things. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. Olivia?
Yeah, I think one area for growth for Burlington schools, and I would agree with everything that has been said already about the strengths of our school district, the facilities, the opportunities, the diversity of opportunities is truly it's outstanding, really. I taught high school in Cedar Rapids and had graduated from Mediapolis. So big difference there in size. So when I became a teacher, I thought, oh my goodness, public high schools offer this many opportunities. And then I moved back to Burlington. I thought, oh, well, they offer this many opportunities right here in this, what feels like little town to me. So I agree completely that Burlington is offering incredible opportunities to students, and I want to be a part of that forward momentum. I think that the biggest area of growth from my perspective, what I hear from parents and what I hear from teachers is that teachers need to be supported so that they can be freed up to teach and students can be free to learn. I think it's going to be hard, like Darvin said, to find solutions for some of those issues that we're experiencing in our schools. But between distractions and really, I think a lot of parents would describe chaotic environments that sometimes do occur, especially in our elementary schools. We really have to look those issues in the face and ask good questions, listen to teachers, listen to parents, listen to students, and creatively, strategically think about what we can do to really strengthen the climate and the culture of our schools, starting in elementary and going all the way through high school. I would just like to be a part of those solutions.
Floyd?
Yeah, of course, growth in the academic arenas, but so some abstract growth areas. You know, you need probably public partnerships, going out in the community and asking others who have the same mindset to come in and help us look at areas of growth and concern. You know, the isolation sometimes chokes public education. I've run numerous public health organizations, from hospital systems to foster care, to juvenile services, to you name it, I've probably run in the last 25 or 30 years. And it's always sort of the abstracts. We know it's on paper what needs to get done. The issue is always, how else can you get it done? There are lots of voices even in this room, you know, to reach out to voices here in the community and say, well, help us do X, Y, and Z. Help us change the perception, as someone said, of our school system. Help find a kid maybe an after-school job, or enlighten them in a different direction of employment or career. So there's lots of growth areas in public education, especially here in Burlington. There's a lot of opportunities. I think as a board member, to be able to go out in the real world and tap into some of those opportunities that helps the system and bring it in. Whether you can use it or not is irrelevant. The issue is you bring it to the table, you present it to the school system, and let them see whether or not it can be utilized in helping us, as I said before, let people know that, you know, I'm proud to be from the Burlington Public School System.
Okay. You asked about areas improvement. I agree with Marlis and some others that we have a lot of successes. I hope we get a chance to talk about those too. Because of our time shortage here, I will focus on areas of improvement. I know I said this already. I think hearing a lot of parents' perspectives, there are concerns about the behavior and the respect levels in the schools. I know the teachers are definitely affected by that in their classrooms. If they're spending the majority of their time they want to be teaching, focusing on disciplinary issues, the whole class suffers. And so it's going to reflect in our academics as well, not just the behavior. I think a way that we can go after that, I met with the superintendent. He informed me they already have a program in place called Leader in Me, which was recently recommitted to. And what they're doing is trying to implement leadership skills in the students from a foundational age. So we're talking like kindergarten through 8th grade, where they're learning respect and self-esteem and those kind of principles that are going to kind of spill over into their later years. If we can lay the foundation for them where they know what's expected, we're consistent with our disciplinary expectation and action, then they go into the middle schools and the high school already set up for success. I also want to throw in real quick, I had another idea. There's another website called character.org, and I can get into it another time.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
Marlis, we'll start with you. We were just talking about areas of growth. I'd like to talk about the strengths of the district. What do you see as the Burlington Community School District's strengths and celebrations? What can be done to share them with the community?
Well, I think I've already said this, but I'll repeat myself again. Our biggest strength is our staff, our educators. We have very dedicated people who spend long hours working with our kids. They spend the extra hours trying to address problems that are beyond just a textbook or, okay, that sounded old, beyond a Chromebook. Beyond a Chromebook, but they work with our kids to get them to a place where they can learn. So I think that is one of our biggest strengths. We also have a lot of diverse programs. The buildings are new, and I'm very, very happy that a new auditorium is finally being going behind Aldo. That's been something Mr. Murphy has been pushing for so many years. So there are great developments. We do have some good community support. When I think about the remodeling of Bracewell that was done years ago, Purple and Gray Foundation was from the community. People stepped up, volunteering their time and donations to make Bracewell into the beautiful stadium that it is. We have a lot of great, there's already been mentioned, the culinary program. When I was at the tour of the high school for the remodel, the medical department, a lot of the college classes that kids can attend in high school. There are so many great strengths of our school. The problem is they need to not be hidden. So let's keep showing those off, and let's be proud of our district because we do have a good district.
Luke?
I'm going to regurgitate a lot of what she said, but the facilities are some of the best in the state. You look at having all of our elementary buildings, the middle school, the intermediate school, the high school. I mean, we truly have some of the newest and best compared to some of the other towns, even around here or across the state. Our teachers are phenomenal teachers, and we've got to make sure that we keep them around and create an environment that they want to stay here. Our industrial arts program, I'm kind of high on them right now. They did a really cool project for us at the fire station. The culinary arts program, and then my brother reminds me every time he comes to Burlington that we have the coolest football stadium in the state, and that really is a neat thing to go to a game there compared to some of the other places where you're out in the middle of a cornfield. Those are a lot of our strengths, and we just need to continue to get that positive word out there and keep talking. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we all could celebrate Burlington Public Schools for, the whole evening. We could talk about strengths. When I think about strengths, I think of the people, the facilities, and the heart that's behind this district. So the people, many of them are in this room. Some of them are at this table. They're in homes across this entire town. The kids who come to school every day, and many of them are going through hard things at home. I don't think we can begin to understand the depth of the issues that some of these kids, the burdens that they're being asked to carry at home, and they're showing up every day and they're doing their best. So it's our students, it's our staff who are showing up every single day, day in, day out, facing these tough realities and trying to help these students, whether they're coming from home lives that are challenging or they're coming from, home lives that are full of opportunity and full of learning that's taken place right there at home. And these kids are being read to from the time they're born, and their parents are really on top of things. That's one of the strengths of any public school district, is that they take any child, no matter who they are, no matter who they come from, no matter who their parents are, what their abilities are, and they all get funneled into these local neighborhood schools. And that's really a beautiful thing. So it's the people, and that really speaks to the heart of our district too. There's a lot of enthusiasm. Some of the most enthusiastic people I know are teachers in the Burlington Community School District. They're coaches in the Burlington Community School District. Some of the most heart-filled people that we have in this community are working in our school district. And that's a wonderful thing for our kids. Our facilities are top-notch. Our opportunities are endless. We just want to make them effective and available for all of our students, to the best of our ability.
Floyd?
Yeah, what I heard is all of that. The issue is the strength of any public institution is the heart of the people. It's the parents who send their kids to the school. It's the students who sit there 8 or 9 hours a day. It's our underpaid academic staff, right? I'm gonna say that, right? Because everywhere I've lived, our teachers are underpaid. So that's definitely hard to come to work knowing you're doing a lot of work and the pay isn't at a level that you, I'm going to be kind here, required, right? So it's in the community itself. So all of that you've heard, put in a bowl, you shake it up, those are the strengths. And it's people like us who hearing the stuff that we hear, want to be involved in the school system itself. So the strengths is everyone here, once again, the students, the teachers, the parents, the town itself. These are the strengths of a public educational system in Burlington.
I want to talk about our music programs. They should be celebrated. We have awesome band and orchestra programs. Our teachers are amazing. When I was growing up, we did not get the opportunity to have free private lessons from our teachers, but our students get that opportunity. They're not only getting the class time, they're getting private lessons outside of class time, one-on-one with the teachers, and they are learning. And our music, even our instruments even that we have are very good quality. The kids sound amazing. The teachers are great. So I just want to say that the music programs are amazing. I also want to celebrate the success for, we've talked about test scores being a little low. I want to celebrate Sunnyside because they actually scored commendable. Compared to the state testing performance website. I talked to the superintendent and he said they actually came from a place about 7 years ago where they did not score so well and they required assistance. And so the fact that we have grown in that area and come to a commendable score at this point not only says that we are going in the right direction, it gives us a pattern that we can implement in some of the other elementary schools to help boost them because we've seen what works. Of course, it won't be the exact same because we have different staff, different school dynamics, but we have a good pattern for that. And I think it's also a celebration for BHS having the opportunity to take so many SEC courses that are just going to propel them into a successful future.
Darby?
I could move us along faster if I said ditto. But I can't because there's too many wonderful things about the district. Chief, we have a great community. One of the things that makes Burlington School District great is our community. The city of Burlington, the residents that live here, the businesses, I can go on and on. The effort, what they give to the district, anytime we need something, they're there for us. The families in our buildings, the building needs something, or a student or classroom needs something, and the families are right there. It's phenomenal to see this happen and unfold, and it makes me very proud to live in this community and be part of this community. It's been mentioned, our staff are phenomenal. The teachers working 60-plus hour weeks, many teachers regularly putting time in after hours, on the weekends, over the summer. Teachers don't get summers off, by the way. They're working in the summer. They're dedicated, and they're working so hard for the students. The students themselves are exceptional. We have students who are excelling in athletics, excelling in academics, and it's it's just an amazing thing, and we have so much to be proud of. And the community, again, supporting things like the Performing Arts Center that will be built at Aldo is just incredible. To think that our community said, yes, we want to do that. We're going to pay for this. We're going to get this done. There's many, many wonderful things.
Luke, we'll start down there with you. I believe we have time for one more question here. What are your recommendations for attracting and retaining high-quality educators and staff to the Burlington Community School District?
That's $1 million question for not just teachers, for anyone retaining staff. Obviously, you got to look at pay, but there's only so much you can do with that. Their benefits, the support. They've got to feel supported by the school board, obviously, but also their principal, and just trying to stay competitive with all the other schools in the area as far as pay goes. I mean, a lot of things do come down to pay, but it also, I will say, making them feel supported and that they're needed. Thank you.
Olivia?
Yeah, so I love the fact that we're sitting here in the Greater Burlington Partnership offices, because I think one really important piece of attracting talent to the area is by working with community partners, with businesses, with local nonprofits and organizations to make Burlington as desirable a place as possible to live. So as a school board member, I would want to utilize my leadership skills to work really hard to build partnerships, increasing and deepening partnerships with different organizations within our community so that we're all really part of the same team, because we all have a vested interest in the kids in this community and we all have a vested interest in Burlington. It's our home. So that's a part of it. I have to admit that I was a little bit surprised to learn that Burlington doesn't offer competitive salaries that are higher than other schools in the area. I know that's the $1 million question too, because of funding streams and how that all works. But I would love it if Burlington could offer salaries that are a little bit higher than averages for this area and for schools our size, in order to attract talent and to just really honor teachers for the really hard work that they do. I also love what our school, though, is doing with mentoring and with professional development programs. I think Burlington's doing a really great job in those areas. I think they are open to taking student teachers. I know that was really critical for me, having a good student teaching placement out of college and then actually going to work in that district when I was done. So I know it's hard for teachers because I've had student teachers in my classroom and it does add extra work, but it's a great thing for the district when we can get students here learning from our talented staff and then desiring to come and be a part of the team here in Burlington too. So I think we can do a lot of different things because Burlington really is a good place to live.
Could you repeat the question one more
Yes,
time?
certainly. What are your recommendations for attracting and retaining high-quality educators and staff?
Well, I'm assuming the things we don't have any control over. We don't control salaries. It's in the books, right? If you can look that up. Benefits, we don't control that. And so it's the intangibles. Someone who's had to go recruit social workers, teachers, academics, law enforcement, all sorts of things. It's the intangibles. So like me, I've been here now 2 years. I'm the person you want to send out to get folk to stay in Burlington, right, for a long period of time, because the intangibles is really why people stay on their jobs in community. So someone like me can tell you, I've been here about 2.5 years, and the things that I like about Burlington, and show people, what you can do here, and support networks and partnerships and friends and all those other things. Because people will come to Burlington and work and go, well, why do I want to stay? Ask Blair, I tell you. There's a great view of the bridge over there, right? There's a great park or two around the corner. There are other organizations around the city. There are great things to be involved with, and it's a great community. So I think it's not just the things that on paper to retain and recruit, it's the intangibles that people need to sort of experience. And I'm a kind of guy, I've been here 2 years. I like Burlington. That's why I'm still here and running for school board. So we'll put a new face on that and send somebody like me out, and I will go do that job for you without pay.
I did a little bit of research on teacher salaries. It does seem that our Burlington teachers are slightly below the Iowa state average for teacher pay. Of course, that's a loaded question. It's a loaded fix because things have to be shifted around. But I would love if we could look into the budget and see if we could boost their salaries a bit. Also, support. I think anytime the staff is feeling supported and they love their environment, they want to stay. They become personally invested. They love the students. They love the staff they work with. So if we can work toward creating an environment where everybody is feeling heard, supported, and just personally invested, that they'll want to stay of their own accord, and we work toward a common goal.
I'll tell you what's fun. Fun is seeing 4 new teachers to our district this year who graduated from Burlington High School. That was an incredible thing to see these individuals. They went to college, they left Burlington, they went to college, and they're back, and they're teaching in our buildings. I think we're doing a lot of great things, and attracting and retaining qualified staff is twofold. One, we have to have a district that is nurturing and welcoming and respectful of their talents and their skills and makes them feel like they belong. We have a great mentoring program in our district. It's a 2-year program, I believe, where they're assigned other staff members to work with. So you have to have the district that provides for them a good salary, a good benefit package, and makes them feel like they are respected and welcome. And you have to have a community that also makes them feel welcome and gives them things to do. And the revitalization, like of downtown Burlington as an example, so many things for people to do. And these young people are coming here and they're finding out that Burlington is just a pretty cool place. And I give credit to Lacey Johnson and Corey Johnson also for hitting the colleges and the universities and talking with these people as they're getting ready to graduate to tell them about Burlington, and not just about the Burlington School District, but about Burlington itself, and to promote what this community has and how they care and love their school system. I think we have maybe 2 certified staff positions open right now. And that's saying a lot for when you have 300 certified staff.
The easy answer to that question, of course, is it'd be great to increase their pay, but there are restrictions on the school funding formula and what can be paid out of the general fund, and a lot of that is teacher salaries. Obviously, if we can increase our revenue in the general fund, that would be great. However, that's more of a state funding formula problem than what a board can direct. So we have to do other things. Make sure they have planning time. Make sure that they're not feeling rushed and we're not overburdening them. Nothing worse than getting a great teacher here and then finding they go to another school where they feel more relaxed or they don't have the support. So I think we need to support them in the classroom, and I think we do that, but support them in the classroom more. That includes supporting with discipline, supporting with professional development. I think the mentoring program is a great step in that direction because that will help retain some good teachers. But creating an environment of support, working hand in hand with the Burlington Education Association. They represent our teachers, and they know more than anyone what it takes to be good teachers in this district. So we should work with them to help retain teachers, to help get those great teachers in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlis. We'll move on to our closing remarks. Lydia, we'll start back down there with you. You'll have 60 seconds. Please share with us what sets you apart from the other candidates.
I think all of the candidates up here have a lot to offer. I really am honored to be sitting at the same table as all of them. I can just speak for myself that I would come to the board table first and foremost as a parent and as a teacher, someone who cares about kids. I look around and I do have some concerns just about the environment in which our kids are growing up. And I don't just mean in the halls of our classrooms, but I think about the digital devices that we're carrying around in our hands all of the time. And I think that we're living in a day and age where childhood is just different than it was when I was growing up. I don't feel all that old, but I'm getting older and things have changed a lot. And so I'm coming at this opportunity with the heart of someone who wants to help hand childhood back to kids a little bit, to help them live wholeheartedly, to use their minds, their bodies, their souls, their strength, everything in them to live a full life that is not dependent on the whims of what they're seeing on social media or the feedback they're getting on social media. I want to help them live full lives in this world.
Floyd?
My normal answer is because I'm bald, but I can't, as you see, that ain't working today. So the issue is, I have a very diverse working background and a very diverse sort of growing up background. I've lived in numerous communities. I'm an ex-submariner, Navy guy. I grew up in foster care, Brooklyn. I worked at lots of levels of government, from federal, state, local. I've traveled the world. So my viewpoint, I don't know if it's different. It's just, it's come from a different background. And I think I bring something to the table because I'm not opinionated. I like to listen to all voices and sift through all the voices to come to a conclusion that helps solve the issue at the time. So I think I bring that kind of perspective. I don't get rattled. Nothing really rattles me, but I'm a listener. I like to bring people to consensus, and I think I have a diverse outlook on the world itself. That may be a different perspective than most.
I think whatever I invest in, I fully invest myself into it. I am not happy being complacent. So if there are concerns with parents or staff members that were portrayed to me, I would pursue every avenue I could to seek out answers, and I wouldn't rest until I felt like we were on the right track. I think that I work well together with others, and I have a lot of passion and versatility. I have willingness to communicate with staff and parents, and I think all of these things will be the reason I would be a good fit for our school board.
Darv?
Our district has accomplished some incredible goals recently. I'm fortunate to have worked with others to help with the complete the construction of Edstone Middle School, facilitate the development of the Purple and Gray Group and their work to upgrade and remodel Bracewell Stadium, the creation of the Course Early Childhood Center, the creation of the Vibe online learning program, and the stunning remodel of Burlington High School. And now, thanks to some hard work by the board and the administration, the planned construction of the much needed and long asked for Greyhound Performing Arts Center, which will positively impact our students and community for decades to come. Our students are enthusiastic and want to learn, so our role as board members is to support our staff members and their commitment in serving all of our children so that they can meet and exceed their goals. The board must ensure that the superintendent, the administration, the staff, the students, the families all work together, being mindful that the students can learn and can succeed if we give them the environment to do so. I'm passionate about this position. I am dedicated to this institution, and I respectfully ask for your vote so I can continue to serve our district.
Marcus?
I've been in Burlington for 28 years, practicing law in this community. I know a lot of Burlington. I have experience on the board. I know a lot of teachers, and I feel that I listen to a lot of teachers. Probably what sets me aside and makes me most passionate is advocating for our special education funding, for our kids and maybe families who can't advocate for themselves, making sure that we continue our good programs, make sure that we make sure every student graduates and every student gets what they need to graduate, because that helps not only the student, but it helps the family. And let's face it, it helps our whole community, because we are making that student a successful adult in Burlington, Iowa.
I think what maybe sets me apart, or some of my abilities, is the ability to listen. I do know a lot of people in this community, and with the information to make difficult decisions. And sometimes that's not fun, but it's what needs to be done once in a while. And I'm very invested in this school district with both my kids attending, and they're going to be there for a while with the second graders. So I want to see them through graduation, and I'd appreciate your vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I want to thank you all for your interest in serving the community. Public service can be a thankless job, but we need dedicated individuals like yourselves to serve. I also want to thank the Greater Burlington Partnership, the Chamber of Commerce, and its Government Relations Committee for hosting this event. Finally, thank you to all of you that are here watching, all of you that have been online watching, for your interest in this school board election. Please remember to vote for the candidate of your choice next Tuesday, November 4th.